All right, we're going to try this again. I don't know if this is working or not. Or maybe I'm just expecting too much. Hi, for those of you watching this, we ain't got nobody in here yet. So, but I'm Corey, and this is MadRatt Garage. And I thought I'd go live. It's a Saturday. I'm working in the shop. And trying to get a few things done. It's somewhat quiet around here. Got to pull the transmission out of my C10. I think we got a bad rear main seal. Well, hello there. Looks like we got one person in here. Feel free to say hello, and I'm getting ready to pull the transmission, working on pulling the transmission out of my 64 C10. Got a rear main, got to inspect. Got an oil leak back there, not sure what's going on. So getting everything out of the way, getting ready to give her a yank. And figured it's a beautiful Saturday. Good day to do it. Might as well go live. See if anybody else is out there hanging around on YouTube. Introduce myself. I'm Corey. This is MadRatt Garage. It's like my third attempt at going live. So feel free to ask any questions. Looks like we got one person in there. In case you haven't been here before, that's the 64 C10. She's on bags. This over here is my 66 Chevy 2 Nova Wagon. And got a few hot rods laying around here. Got a 49 Chevy out there. It's a 49 Chevy Styline Deluxe. That's my 1956 Chevy Nomad. Well, I got a few people coming in. Feel free to say hello down below. Let me know where you're from. Have any questions? Feel free to ask. Our plan today is going live. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And I think I need 33 subscribers. So I thought I'd go live, show people live what I do. I tinker around in my own garage. This is all my own stuff. Not a business, nothing like that. I just film what I do. I'm doing it anyway, so I thought I'd put it on film for others to see, maybe enjoy. Sweet Nova, thanks, G. Rampage 82, nice car, appreciate that. Terry S, old cars from Tampa, Florida. Well, guess what? I'm south of you. I'm in Port Charlotte, Florida. Rampage 82 from the Philippines. Or Philadelphia, my bad. Hello from Maine, from G. Hello, everyone. So yeah, I figured I'd go live today, do some work around the garage, answer any questions. If there's anything you want to see in the garage or any of the cars you want to see up closer, let me know. But I built this and finished it in 2014. It's my 1964 C10. It's on airbags. It's got a fuel-injected small block in it. Hey, Frisk Undertale from Italy. Yep, Florida neighbor. And after I got it, we've had a weird vibration in the car since in the truck since it started. I've taken on a hot rod power tool, drove it to Florida and back when I used to live in Indiana. Drove it to Florida and back. I've been down here in Florida about 4 years. So just a small YouTube channel, but we're trying to hit that 1,000 mark. I figure I'm going to go live, and I'm going to stay live until maybe, just maybe, some of you out there can help me out with 33 more subs I need to hit that 1,000 mark. If it's something you're interested in. Doesn't help if you sub and then never come back. So you have any questions, oh, Rampage 82, appreciate it, subbed. Thanks for liking it. But I figured I'd stay live until we can get that number. Hopefully, it might be a couple hours. I don't know how far we're going to get or how much battery life the phone's got. Whichever gives out first, then that's where we're at. So, born in Boston, Massachusetts, moved to Tampa when you were 3. I was born in Wisconsin. Lived in Indiana for about 11 years, and then moved down here 4 years ago. So, I have elderly folks that moved here 20 years ago when they retired. So, get closer to them, I came on down. Been working on cars. Literally my earliest memory, I tell people this and they laugh. My earliest memory is helping my dad work on his 55 Nomad when I was still in diapers, because I have a vivid memory of standing in the dirt barefooted, handing him wrenches when I had to have been 1 year old, 2 years old. And I've helped him work on cars until I had my own cars, and then worked on my own. So pretty much my whole life, I've been a car nut. What kind of cars are you into, Rampage? Yep. That's actually what I did with this. I am in the process of, I put a short video up that was a slideshow of tearing this all the way down to the frame and building it back up. Even though it's a rusty, you know, here in the States, there's a bunch of us that like what we call patina cars, which just show their survivors and show a history of, you know, being faded, and took 50 years to get to looking like that. But I stripped this car down to every nut and bolt and built it back up with all brand new stuff back in 2013 to 2014. So, Lamborghini and a 1995 Impala SS? Is that 95 and Impala SS? Those are pretty cool. So I want this to be my daily driver again. And that vibration turned into, I think the rear main's out. I think we got a bad flex plate that vibrated the rear main and part of the main seal, pump seal on the transmission. So we're going to pull the tranny out. That's what I'm doing this fine Saturday afternoon. And take a look and see what we're dealing with, if I need a new flex plate or whatnot. But here, I'll take you guys under there. Let me turn you around and grab a better flashlight. Show you what we're dealing with, because it's a little tight under there. So I got to pull some of this exhaust off, which I V-band clamped. I was trying to do this live earlier, and I got a few things taken apart, but for some reason the live wasn't doing live things. So got to get this exhaust out. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to drop the V-plan so that the bell housing and everything can clear the exhaust. V-band clamp over here. I got to pull shift cable off. And it looks like we've been leaking something other here, which is probably that rear main seal, coating everything in oil. So got the got all the cables off that needed to be gotten off before we get started. And now, like I said, just getting ready to pull the exhaust down. And then the drive shaft's got to come out. And the cross member comes out. And we'll be pulling a couple other things. Hopefully just, I'm going to pull the shield out and take some bolts off the torque converter there. And once that's down, we'll be going after pulling the tranny out itself. So for those of you that are just getting here, we're just getting started. Got a few things pulled on the old 64 there. Just so you know what kind of stuff we play with around here on MadRatt Garage. That there's a 66 Nova Chevy 2 wagon. Let me turn you around here, and that's a 1949 Chevy Styleline Deluxe sedan that we're working on the channel. And that there is a 1956 Chevy Nomad that has been in my family for 49 years. I bought it 9 years ago, and this year we just did all the maintenance and upgrades that we needed to get her on the road. We've been driving that to several car shows, having fun with it. Bonjour. Is that Ala Salut? Bonjour. Welcome. So I'm new to this live stuff. I'm just a small channel, and this is the third time I've ever gone live on doing this. So haven't had much luck. Still learning, so bear with me. So yeah, we're just getting rolling. So got a few things to do. I pulled one of the TV cable out of the housing there on the transmission there, so that we can clear that, and obviously transmission fluid comes out. So that's why we got that underneath there, letting it drain right now so it ain't dripping on my head. And yeah, it's a weird hat, but this has got a hard cover in it so that I don't bump my, well, I still bump my head, but it doesn't hurt when I do it. Call that a bump cap. So start my own business. You're good? Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if I could start my own business, to be honest with you. I have a hard time dealing with customers. I like tinkering. I'm slow. I take my time. I think things through. I'm self-taught, just been doing it since I could walk. And I think working for a customer would take all the enjoyment out of what I like to do. So I'd prefer just to, if I was going to do a business, it'd be fun to just build one, sell it, so I could buy another project, build one, sell it to somebody, do another project. That'd be fun. That'd be the dream. That it takes money, and with today's economy, things ain't as great as they used to be. So we're just tinkering with our own stuff at the moment, and getting our love. This is the first one I ever tore all the way down and built all the way back up. So I want it back on the road. That rear main seal's been leaking since I moved to Florida 4 years ago, and I parked it and it sat, and it's kind of been withering away. Old hot rods don't do very well when you just let them sit. So I want it back as my daily driver. It was a lot of fun. I do have air conditioning and cruise control in it, so it's definitely a usable vehicle year-round down here in Florida. And it'd be nice to have. And with the air ride and everything, she really rides and drives nice. So just don't want to burn up the motor because that rear main's leaking. And it's leaking pretty bad. The last time I parked it, I think I let it idle less than a minute before I shut the key off, and there was a substantial puddle of oil underneath it, and a smaller one of transmission fluid. So we just pushed her to the side, and finally getting around to getting her back in the shop, and we're going to rectify the whole problem. So I'm new to glasses too. Rampage 82. God gave you a gift. Use it. Well, I appreciate that. I feel like he gave me a gift too. I just got to find a different way to use it. Kind of like I said, maybe I'll just use it for when the economy changes a little bit and people have a little extra fundage for hot rods and toys and whatnot. Maybe we build one and sell it, build another and sell it. Just do one at a time, and that way I enjoy my hobby and I don't have to deal with customers other than the person who just buys it done, complete. Not telling you to paint it blue, and then when you got the blue color on, they call you and say, you know what, I want green. I worked in a shop years ago and that happened, and I'm just like, you know what? And as a shop owner, the owner, he ate it, you know, ate the cost of the labor and all that to change the color. It's crazy. Not my kind of thing. So that put a bad taste in my mouth. But if you want a blue car and I got a blue car, then you buy the blue car. There's no dictating. So, all right, I'm gonna get after getting this drop down. That's what size was that? Those are 7/16. Yeah. Well, hello. Seems like a few more people popped in. Say hello down below. Let me know where you're from. Feel free to comment down below, ask any questions you might need. You might need to ask. That's why I'm here. I'm not sure who's back or who's new here. For those that are here hanging out and have been here, I don't want to keep repeating myself, so feel free to comment down below, say hello. We're just working on pulling the transmission out. Working on hot rod stuff, you know? I'm back. I'm here. At least it's coming apart all right. It's been together for 11 years almost. So far, so good. And then That one. Let that soak for a second. Okay. That should be a clamp bolt. Yeah. Carriage. Half. Hello. Anybody in here want to say hi? Feel free to say hi. You have any questions on what's going on? We're just working on cool hot rod stuff. A 1964 Chevy C10. I lovingly call low life. She's on airbags. She got air conditioning. Got a small block with Holly fuel injection. She got cruise control. She got about 400 horse. But she also got a leak. So, rear main leak. I hope. Hope it ain't anything else major, but seems to be leaking out the rear main or possibly the, and also the tranny seal, input seal. Got a bad flex plate. I think it's doing a little bit of this when it's running, and it eventually just wore it out. I've been looking for that vibration forever. And when that leak came, I thought, you know what? It's a brand new crate motor that I put in there. And within 10,000 miles, what's it got on it now? 14,000 miles. Started that leak, and all it can be is the flex plate. So shimmying, wearing that out, especially when it wears out the input shaft and the rear main at the same time. Both of them are leaking. Something's wrong. Hopefully it hasn't damaged anything. What was I doing? See, get to talking, forgot what I was doing. No. It ain't that one. It ain't that one. It's gonna be that one. Looking to see if anybody's got a question or not. Oh, yeah, that ain't it. What's everybody up to today? Anybody else been working out in the garage or going to the beach, or maybe you're shoveling snow today? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Yeah, it's a good thing I got that lift to hold that up. What do we got going on today, guys? Guys and gals. Let's see, do I have enough room? I got enough room if I take the cross member out. Working on hot rods. Working on hot rods. We like working on hot rods. Hot rods are fun. Looks like I use that. Look, I use that cross member for a zip tie holder on some unwieldy wiring. Zip ties are good for holding stuff away from exhaust that's too close. Oh, this whole cross member's got to come out anyway, so that is the cruise control wire. This one is holding, oh, they're all for the cruise control, and one was holding the speedo cable away from the exhaust. Everything's so tight under here. I got any other ones? That goes up and over. One more right there. Don't be cutting any of your wires. Avoid cutting wires. Yeah. So there we go with that. I'll probably take that all out right there. Hello, hello. Who we got out there? I see two people out there. I haven't heard a peep out of nobody. My name's Corey. It's MadRatt Garage. 1964 Chevy C10 step side on bags. Coolness. Comment down below. Ask questions. Let's start a conversation, shall we? I can talk and work at the same time. I can, I swear. Feel free to ask any questions you might like to ask. If anybody new in here, let me just show you what we're working on. I'm going to turn you around. That is 1964 Chevy C10, slammed on bags. Got a crate engine in it. Got patina. It's got cool old Krager deluxe wheels with a spinner that rusted sitting down here. Makes me mad. Oh, wait, what's that? Is that another? Well, that's another hot rod. Could that be a 1966 Chevy 2 Nova Wagon? Well, yes, it could be. And actually, it is. And that? Well, that's a 1949 Chevy Deluxe Skyline sedan. And that's a 1956 Chevy Nomad. That right there that's my pride and joy. It's been my family for 49 years. I've owned it for the last 9. Just got her out rolling around, did some bunch of maintenance to it. Check the channel out. We call it Mosmad because that was my mom's Nomad she used to drive to work in the summers up in Wisconsin. That's right. And then now I got it. It sat for a while. We did some maintenance and got her back on the road and enjoying every minute of driving it. That's been a lot of fun. But down here in Florida, that's where I'm at. you can't drive the stuff year round. Gets really hot, and we don't go car showing in the summer. In the summer, you get like 120-degree heat index. Who wants to sit in a lawn chair and sweat in that? So I got to have a hot rod. I mean, I have an S10, extended cab S10 with a LS swapped. A lot of fun to drive. Like it. Good truck. But I built this before the S10, and I miss driving this every day. And it's been sitting for the last 4 years. For those of you that just showed up, Carl Hall, the Nomad is awesome. Well, thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. And where was I going? Oh, I got down here 4 years ago, and there's been a shimmy in that ever since I built it. I finished building that in 2014. Put a bunch of miles on it, hot rod power tour. I lived in Indiana at the time, was driving back and forth to Florida during the holidays. Drove it once down here, power tour. And when I got down here 4 years ago, that shimmy got a little bit worse, and now I've got an oil leak and a transmission leak. And at the same time, in the same spot, which tells me it's probably the input shaft and the rear main. And that tells me my vibration is probably a bad flex plate. It was brand new when I put it in. Put this all together. That was a crate motor, brand new flex plate, TCI. Maybe I got the wrong one. I don't know. But I stopped driving it 4 years ago because it was a substantial leak, and I didn't want to have to be dealing with that all the time or blow the motor before I got to fixing it. And now we got time. So she's in the shop. That's what I'm working on today. The CRX. I used to have a C10 step side, 1964. It was the best. Better than my 63 fleet side C10. Knee knocker. You nailed it on the head. And Jasper Rainey, nice C10. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, the knee knockers. I don't care for the look either with that weird cutout in the doors. But yeah, you'd smack your knees every time getting in and out of those trucks. 64, they went to the flat windshield and no more cutaway cutting back over by the vent window so you don't smack your knees anymore. So a little bit better, and I like the dash better. I mean, 64 to 66 is definitely my favorite of the C10s. And then I like square bodies after this. 67 to 73 72 are pretty cool too. But this is my favorite. Always has been. My dad had one when I was a kid, long bed, and I just remember really liking the truck, but it stuck in my head. And it was a beat down, painted with a house roller, for house paint. And we used to take it hunting. We used to take it to go get firewood for the wood furnace in the house. And as a little kid, just remember sitting in the middle and looking at that dash. And I thought that dash was just cool. So when I bought one, it had to be one that had that dash, which is 64 to 66. It's, to me, they're just neat. They're very symmetrical. They're very smooth. They don't have a bunch of weird, and the knee knocker ones had that weird speedometer that kind of had the sweeping motion of like trying to be LED, but it was mechanical. So yeah, hit your knees all the time. Yeah, I had an 84 that I sold, and if you check it out on the channel, I bought it as an abandoned truck. It was an old service railroad truck, 84 C20, and made the paint more patina-like and slammed it, lowered it 7 inches all the way around and put different wheels on it. Check the channel out. It was one of the first videos I ever did starting YouTube, so it's kind of cool. But I had 2 tanks, and I bought a replacement, 1 tank replacement, and I got rid of the other tank altogether because that stupid diverter valve where you hit the switch, they always go bad, even the aftermarket ones. And I thought, you know what, if I put another tank in this and I put another diverter valve, it's just going to go bad in the long run. That 20-gallon tank's more than enough. And it had gotten, which nobody had known because the motor was just a rusty mess, but it had gotten a reman motor at some point. And when I pulled the valve covers off, it looked like it had less than 5,000 miles underneath. I mean, it was clean as a whistle. Rusted to death on the outside, the motor, but clean as a whistle on the inside. So it's pretty cool. So here, I'll take you underneath and show you what I'm working with here. Let me flip you around. So 700 R4. Bought that from Bowtie Overdrive. First time in my life I bought a crate motor and a crate tranny. But right now I'm working on getting the exhaust out. You can see how close the exhaust is. And I put V-bands on, knowing that if ever I had to get any of this out, I wanted to be able to get it out. So I put V-bands on. I'm just taking those apart and getting the all the holders off so I can move this out of the way. So when it's time to slide the tranny back, the bell housing will clear. You can see how tight this is, but see, you got the V-bands. Still got to disconnect the linkage here. I'm gonna do this right now. This is for the cruise control. So speedometer cable and cruise control. I thought I could just unhook the speedometer, but I think I'm gonna take the whole thing off and then pull the drive shaft. So yeah, you can see got airbags. Put Hotchkiss sway bars front and back on her. Yeah, she's bagged. And I didn't bag it to be frame dragger. And because I planned on taking it on a lot of trips, I wanted it reliable as you can get. The inside, you know, it's up now. But the interior on the truck is brand new seat, brand new carpet, repainted, redid everything like brand new. So when you're rolling in there, you feel like you're in a restored truck, even though it looks like this on the outside. But if I ever lost on a trip, if I ever lost an airline or an airbag, if you lay frame, you're done. You ain't going nowhere. So it gets about that far from laying frame, and I can still drive it. And guess how I know? Sure enough, one of the lines laid up against the exhaust when I first put it all together and aired out on me. And I'm like, why is this thing riding so crappy? And I couldn't air it back up. And then I realized, oh boy. So we did a repair on the airlines, fixed that, and made it work. So CRX. No flex pipe? No flex pipe. Can you believe it? Hard to believe, isn't it? That was small enough span in there. So I had a couple of pipes bent up for it at a muffler shop, and they didn't land where we wanted it to. So I changed a few things myself, and that's when I did the V-band clamps. And those pipes he bent up for me, I actually turned them around backwards. I'll show you. I think it's funny. But I turned them around backwards. It was the only way it would work. And I don't remember why it was the only way it would work, but you can see where they expanded it. This was actually the other side. And I think it's because I changed mufflers and they could do a full slip over. So instead of doing it that other way, I moved one from this side, turned it around and moved it over here. And yeah. Kind of funny because I'm like, oh, it's got that got that expansion already done on it. Well, it's in a place that when it's sitting on the ground, you can't tell where the exhaust comes out anyways. And I thought, well, maybe someday I'll do tips and maybe they'll go over that and I'll hide it. But 11 years later, still there. You know how it goes. If it works, don't fix it. And nobody's ever mentioned it. So you guys are the first to see it because I've never showed anybody. I've never even pointed it out. Well, thanks, CRX. Nice work. I appreciate it. And you got a good laugh out of that pipe. Yeah. That's hey, you do what you got to do. It worked. It was just funny holding it up there and doing whatever. And I'm like, you know what? This works better than the other way. And it clears the suspension and stupid end on it. Well, we'll deal with it later. Well, never had to. So CRX, where are you from? Excuse me. Is my shop for personal use or do I do customer work? You're in California. Okay. All personal work. When I moved down here, I needed a place to store my whole life in a storage unit, but I also didn't have a place to park any of the cars that I had. I've acquired a couple since then, and which the Nova Wagon is one of those. So I looked for something a little bit bigger, and this is about all I could find because at the time everybody was moving to Florida and every storage unit and every garage was taken. And my brother was renting this one. And then the one kitty corner from here, because this is like a business complex, came up for sale. So I told him I'll rent this one and he could buy that one. And they gave him a good enough deal that it was less than he was paying for rent on this unit to buy the next one. So I just came down and moved into this, and that's personal use. Been a hot rodder for life, so have to have a place to work on my stuff, and this way I can get 4 vehicles in here, because with the lift all the way up I can park a car under it, and then the 4-post lift, obviously you can park a car underneath that. And when the hurricanes come, I put my 4 most pride and joy babies in here, and then I've got 2 other vehicles that when my brother gets his up on the lift, we can get 2 more vehicles into his. So we got room for everything, because we do have to worry about hurricanes and protecting our stuff down here. Hopefully not this year. I've had enough since I've been down there. Been through 2.5 hurricanes basically. So you don't have to worry about that in California. You just got to worry about everything getting shaken to death in an earthquake, don't you? Everybody else that's out there, feel free to say hi. I'm Corey, and this is MadRatt Garage. It's just a place where I tinker on my own personal stuff. And today I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to be pulling this transmission. I'm going to get it going. I don't know if it'll get all the way out today. At least not all the way out before the battery runs out on my phone. But working on today and tomorrow, hopefully having the tranny out and everything inspected and figure out what is causing my oil leak that I've got. Yeah, you get no rust down there. You get thieves over there in California. I hear that. Carl, you're back. All right. Like the truck takes me back to when I was a kid. I hear you. You might have been gone when I said that. I purposely bought this year a truck because my dad had a 66, which is basically the same body and just a few little things different, but nothing. They're all interchangeable. And when I was a kid, so when I decided I wanted to do an old classic truck, I was looking for a 64 to 66 because I love that dash. Love the look of the trucks, and being not a knee knocker like the 60 through 63s are. Just love the way they looked, and love that interior. So you're right. It takes me back to when I was a kid. Every time I drive it, it reminds me of my old man, and it's a lot different than his, but it's similar. So. All right, let me take that. Speedo cable and cruise control housing off. There we go. Well, that didn't come off the way I thought it was gonna. But that'll work. Yeah, so funny thing, one of the hardest things I had to do, I'm just remembering this now because it was said 10, 11 years ago, hooking that dang cruise control up. They it's such a big unit underneath there that they got really close to the exhaust, and was constantly melting the end of the wire. So I didn't even know they made such a thing, but they make a 90-degree for Speedo cables, and it's got gears inside that you lube. And when I found that, put that in, it clears the exhaust and whatever, but it's such a big mess of stuff hanging off that transmission. But Chibi out of the way right now. We're good there. Let's see. Are any of those new? This has been on the channel too. You go ahead and check the channel out. Been working on that. Bought it as a roller with a motor in it, but unknown. It was half apart, so we got it all together. And she runs like a scalded dog. She's let me show you. I get a kick out of this. Somebody was doing a pro street back in the 90s. And look at the meats on that thing. It's been mini tubbed. And look at how much more room I got to go. Those are 325 wide. And we could go a ton further in before the leaf springs. And they didn't shorten the rear end. So you got this no dish stock look right up to the wheel well. Looks stock at a quick glance. But they're these big honking meats. I'd like to eventually one day get the wheels offset so there's a dish, but I'm going to probably have to shorten that rear end 2 to 3 inches on each side. And then that would get me where I could put maybe what they call small tire, like the drag racing guys do. Small tire 275s, 15s. And I could do a nice offset. So they look pretty tough. I really like the sleeper look, but them stinking tires are ridiculously expensive. So those are Pro Tracks, and Corker's the only one who carries them, and they're like freaking $450 a piece. I think I can get Mickey Thompson 275, DOT legal slicks for about $300 a piece. So for a pair, that's $300 savings. So we'll see. This one's on the back burner. It's got a roll cage in it and everything like that. It'd be fun to do it as a street strip car, something that's. I didn't want a roll cage. It wasn't something I was looking for. A car with a roll cage in it. I always wanted one of these. It was supposed to be one of my first cars. Just missed out on it by seconds, and a miscommunication with my dad. But 35 years later, finally got one, and it don't owe me nothing, so it's in really, really, really nice shape. If I can maybe pull the other option is to pull the roll cage out and put the factory interior back in it and do that. But right now it's got racing buckets, and I bought a pair of Pro cars, but they sit too tall, so I'm gonna have to make some brackets to get them to sit lower to the floor. But we got that on the channel too. If you're interested in the Chevy Nova Wagon, got a few videos about it. A lot more information, a lot more history on it. And just started doing videos on this because I built this way before I ever was trying to do YouTube. And took a bunch of pictures, so we did a slideshow and did some explaining of whatever we did to it. And now she's back in here to get a bunch of upgrades and fix some stuff that I've learned since when I built it. And it's got a Holley fuel injection on, multi-port fuel injection on it. And cool thing about that Holley stuff is it's self-learning, but it don't self-learn timing. And I'll be completely honest, I thought I knew timing well enough, how to set timing. And the completely honest part is I didn't know crap. I went down a rabbit hole. Well, it's been about a month ago now. A buddy of mine was asking a bunch of questions about timing and setting his car up. And he says, the timing set at this, it's ridiculous. And it's set at that. And I went back old school to look at timing stuff for, hey, Busted Radio Garage. What's up, brother? Good to see you on here. But I learned long story short, I learned a lot about timing in the computers. I mean, you set your timing by vacuum. And I didn't know this, and maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't, but who knew that just cruising down the highway 65 miles an hour that with a carburetor, that your timing could be anywhere from 42 to 52 degrees advanced? I thought that would burn a hole in a piston or melt a valve, but the more I look into it, you're not putting much fuel through, and you're under vacuum. So you need that more advanced so it has longer to burn that thin area that's not getting a ton of gas. So it was interesting. So now I can retune this because I tuned it completely wrong timing wise. Carl Hall says, I've always wanted to get a crate motor and build it up. I think it would be fun. It was. Check out my channel. I got some videos on there, and I'm going to show some more on this. I'm putting a video together with more information on this one. That was the only crate motor I ever did was in this. And I'd definitely do it again. I might even be pulling the motor on this. We'll see. The 4 years sitting down here in Florida, really just sitting back in the corner, really messed up my look, the way it looked. I had it painted nice. I had everything, no chrome, but everything brushed bare metal and clear coated, and all of the paint dulled, and all of the stuff that I brushed and clear coated rusted under the clear coat. New video will be coming out tomorrow, I think, on pulling this in here and going over what's happened to it since I built it. But it's kind of made me sick to my stomach because this used to be, it's a patina truck, but you'd pop the hood and that engine would make people just go, whoa, wait a minute. Like, didn't expect that to be in there. And same thing with the interior. You open the door and sitting there, and you think you're sitting in a fully restored truck because I painted and did everything really nice on the interior, but left the exterior. And every other nut and bolt underneath this thing, I took it down to the frame and built it back up. Every nut and bolt. It's the only one the first one I ever did. I've done a couple, maybe not even to that level of tear down and build up, but it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. These trucks are simple. It's easy enough to start with, and that's why I did it. I'm like, yeah, I can't really screw anything up. And at that time, there was no purists for trucks. So you didn't have somebody saying, you can't do that. You diminish the value. Well, it's just an old truck. Who cares? Nothing a welder can't fix. Nothing changing a part around or whatever can't fix. So you have a timing gun for OBD cars, and you only like 89 to 91 Hondas. Like, I got that from the CRX. That was I tell you what, in '86 when the first CRX came out, they were something new and crazy and futuristic looking, and they were definitely something I thought, man, I'd like to have one of those when I'm old enough to drive and can buy a new car, but never have. Drove a few, never owned one. Busted Radio Garage. EFI is something I have never used. To be honest, I am not sure I have any desire to. I only did it. I agree with you. I like working, and I know how to work on carburetors. I've rebuilt many of them and tuned a few of them, and a few more of them, I should say, than I've rebuilt. But I thought, EFI is the way of the future. That's the way everybody's going. And if I'm going to understand everything about hot rodding, and I wasn't ready to do the LS thing because I know my small blocks. So I kind of did the best of both worlds. I bought a crate motor small block from ATK Performance from Summit with aluminum heads and full roller motor. It's like a 400 horse small block. And I thought, I'll learn EFI on that. I'll buy the Holley multi-port fuel injection. That's the Stealth Ram is what I bought. Look cool, something different. You wouldn't expect it in this vehicle. And I thought I can learn. It's self-learning, so I can kind of watch what it's doing, and I can learn what fuel injection's about. And the frustrating thing for me was always timing. Back to what I was saying about timing is, small block, just a regular small block. You set initial timing with the vacuum unhooked. You set it at, stock ones are 6, and you give them a little bump to 8 or 10. A lot of people say you go 12, 14, but some of these stock 220 horse ones, they diesel too much when you turn the key off. If you do that. So I used to always go, 8 to 10 right in there, hook the vacuum up, rev that puppy, $3,000, 3,500, make sure you're about 32 to 36, and you were good. I never knew that the vacuum advance and the weighted advance played off of each other. I just thought when you were at 35, everything was as maxed out as it could be, and little did I know, 42 to 52 degrees going down the highway. Well, nobody has a timing gun on their motor going down the highway with the butterflies barely open, creating all that vacuum. And I followed a guy on YouTube. I can't remember the name of his channel, the Union Garage or something, but he's got a blown big block Ford with 2 4s on it, and he drives around with a vacuum gauge and a hand pump with his vacuum advance hooked up to the hand pump and the gauge hooked up to where the vacuum is on the carburetor, not manifold vacuum, but and he drives around and he keeps adjusting that until his vacuum starts to drop. The vacuum will go up, and the 15 or 16 or 18, and then it'll start to drop, and then he marks down how much vacuum he has on that Mighty Max hand squeeze. Well, then when he gets back to his garage, he does the squeeze, and holy crap, 42 degrees advanced. Are you kidding me? But that's what he said. That's how it works. So that got me thinking about doing all the timing on this now, because it runs a little bit hot when I run the air conditioning down here in this kind of temperature. And they said, and I've noticed it on all my vehicles, because I've never paid attention to what the vacuum advance did. 22 to 28 degrees when your vacuum advance just at idle. So I need to change it, because I got this sitting at like 14 or 15 degrees at idle, and it needs to be at about 22 to 28. So that was a long-winded story around. I'm looking forward, and that's going to be on the channel, me learning how to get this dialed in, and that 22 degrees at idle with a vacuum advance hooked up is supposed to cure your overheating problems in traffic. And my 56 Nomad was running hot because I had the vacuum running off a manifold vacuum instead of the above the butterflies ported vacuum. And when I switched it to ported, it's never overheat again, because it's actually getting the proper advance at idle. It's just a little tidbit. Changed the front strut on my Honda this morning. Firestone wanted $1,100 to do it. See, you just paid yourself to do your own work. Smart move. Smart move, Carl. Not too horrible of a job to do either. Takes you longer than Firestone, but it's your time and your money. So it's the way to do it. So yeah, we're working on towards, obviously we're working on that today, but I'm also working on trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and we're at like 967 when I started this live. So we're trying to, hopefully, if you guys like this stuff, please subscribe and like, and help us get to that 1,000 mark. That's when YouTube actually thinks you're a viable small content creator, and I'd appreciate it. So Carl says that only took you an hour to do that strut. That's not bad. Not bad at all. You just did it out in your driveway with jack stands and a floor jack. I know I built this without a lift. Yep. Carl, yep. That's how you do it. I built this in my driveway. My garage wasn't even big enough. I'd roll it out, make sure it could roll out, do it all in the driveway, or roll it right back in. Just on weekends. Took me almost a year to the day, weekends only, out in the driveway. So I've just gotten too old. And when I bought a lift after I built this, my neighbor had one that was dang near brand new, decided he needed a bigger one, and made me a heck of an offer on a 4-post lift. So I bought it. I'm like, well, I've got a few other maintenance things to do on this. The lift will be nice. So I've been spoiled ever since. I'm getting too old to climb around on all fours and climb underneath anything. I did too many activities when I was younger. My back and knees and hips don't like getting down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up. I'd rather just push a button and watch it go down and up and down and up. It's bad enough doing this underneath them, but I'll take that any day over wallering around underneath one. Oh, and for any of those we're wondering, have you ever seen these? This is a Nipix brand. They're out of Germany. And yeah, it looks like an adjustable wrench. And it is. But it's the best adjustable wrench I've ever seen or used in my life. This is better than any crescent wrench or anything. You push the button here and the jaws slide, right? But you see the teeth in there? They lock to whatever you have there. And see how they move? So right there, that is an exact fitting box end, open end wrench. Just like a wrench. And if you go one smaller on the tooth, you can open it up to that size. And then when you clamp your clamping force, that becomes the best fitting wrench you've ever used. I couldn't believe these things when I bought them, how awesome they work. The only thing I wish they would do is be like a box end where you don't have this big head, because they don't always fit in everywhere. But if I got an area that this will fit in, I got the big, the medium, and a small one. And that small one, whenever I go to a junkyard, it's in my pocket, because it'll take apart anything. Metric, SAE, it don't matter. And the clamping force is something else, the way that works. There's this little fulcrum. It like doubles the torque when you cramp down on it. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So I've had friends see me pull this up and be like, oh, geez, you're using an open-end pipe wrench to take nuts off? No. These are mechanic wrenches, and they're the ultimate open-end wrench with that torquing ability. Best money I ever spent. And they're awesome on and fittings. The anodizing, because they fit perfectly. And when you close them down, they're just a perfect fit without a slip. Work awesome on it without messing up your anodizing. And I have and fitting wrenches too, but either or work just as good. So, see a few more people showed up. Hola, hello. Introduce yourselves down below. Ask any questions you feel like. I'll take you on we're working on this right now. It's my 64 C10. It's on airbags, and we got a bit of a leak, so pulling a tranny to fix a rear main seal. I lost 5 of you. Huh. 66 Chevy 2 Nova Wagon. Be working on that pretty soon here. And if you guys already seen this, and I apologize, I'm just showing in case somebody new showed up. With the 49 Chevy Styline Deluxe Sedan. And that beautiful 56 Chevy Nomad. I apologize if I already did that once and you saw it, but anybody new on here can catch that. All right, let me, that's probably soaked long enough. I'm going to try to break them bolts loose on that exhaust clamp so I can get that other exhaust loose. So we're one step closer to being able to fit the bell housing out. I think that is, those are 7/16. I don't know why I think that. No, they're not. Fool. They are 9/16. I don't know why I thought that. All right, let's see if they'll come off. Let's see. Oh, it's nice when the looby dooby works. Looby dooby. No, I didn't. I must have. Didn't have it. What was I thinking? So, you said earlier, got to pull the clamps off so I can get my exhaust opened up, slid back, drop the tranny out. I don't know if I did that. It doesn't look like anything I'd have done, but I had the exhaust done once on here. Maybe I reused the clamp, but they welded the exhaust clamp to an existing hanger that's part of the body. That's fine. But then they welded the end to the muffler. So the clamp is 100%. You got to cut the clamp off to get the muffler off. So one end should have been bolted to. I was thinking by looking at it that it was welded to the exhaust clamp, so you could just take the exhaust clamp off and it just sit there. But no, as soon as I loosened it up, it moved and the muffler is still welded to it. So I think I'm going to have to. I don't know if I can show this to you and you'll see it or not. Like I said earlier, to those that were here earlier, I redid this exhaust because some things had changed. But I don't know if you can see this or not. This hanger has a leg on it, and that leg is welded to this. And then the hanger comes out, and it's welded to the muffler. Which is fine, but then this shouldn't have been welded to this. I bet I can cut that there. Maybe use my air chisel and bust that off and then figure out how to change this and do it better. In the past, I've welded this to a hanger, and that way you can take the U-bolt out and that just still stays there, and then you can just set the muffler on there and run the U-bolt over the top and back in. I've done that, so I don't know what the heck this is that they did. Definitely interesting. So I wonder if maybe, just maybe. No, I don't want to do that. I think I need to fire up the compressor. Time to fire up the compressor, and then I think I'm going to use my air hammer with a chisel on it and just knock that weld off. Where is it? There it is. Get the proper head on there. So yeah, chisel head. Slide that down between the bracket through the weld. Should be enough to take care of it. I'll let you know in a second. I apologize for making you sit over here and look from a distance, but I don't have anywhere else to set you. Well, here, I don't know. Maybe this will help. I can set you over here. There's a little bit of room there. Try that. All these little lapel mics are supposed to have noise canceling. Let me know if it works. Otherwise, I turn your volume down. No, I'm not going to be able to get on that side. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the cutoff wheel. Now that I got a better look at it up close, I'm going to have to run a cutoff wheel on it. Had a little bit fatter of a weld than I expected. Once I put the shiny light on it, you could see it mooch better. Safety first, pumpkin. Safety first. Make sure you safety first. I got a metal shard in my eye once, a long time ago. I don't want to ever do it again. Oh, what do you think of that? Almost there. Trying not to cut the muffler. There it went. Pretty sure it went right there. Oh, not yet. Pretty darn close. What? Definitely, I didn't weld that. That's way overkill for what I would have done. Wow. There we go. I'm going to say it. Looks like it's all the way through. There we go. She popped. Oh. She popped. Show you. Oh, let's see if I can. All right, there. We will be doing a better job of making that work next time. And not welding it directly to the muffler. Nothing wrong with welding it to the muffler. But then you can't, then you have to bolt it on the other side. And they welded it on both sides. So I'll weld it to the muffler clamp. That way you can finagle it around, like I said. All right, let me see if I gotta put some oil dry down. What a mess. Ooh, I'm almost out of oil dry. Dagnabbit. That's what happens when I have people come over. They throw garbage in my oil dry because they think it's a garbage can. Even though I got 2 other garbage cans in here. Actual garbage cans. Can't have anything nice. Put that on the list of things I need to buy. Oil dry. Mental note. Soak up that part. We'll come over there and soak up that part. Oh. So what other hot rods has everybody got? Let's see what kind of audience we got here. Do we have any classic car guys? We got American muscle guys. Do we have... We know we got an import guy. We got a Honda guy. Oh, we got 2 Honda guys. But I don't know if Carl's only car is a Honda. That dang. Got my eyeball. Can't see out of my glass. Big smudge. So what does everybody else drive? Carl says you got a 97 Ford 4-wheel drive. Cool. Would that be considered a OBS Ford? Or is that front wheel drive? I'm assuming it's 4-wheel drive that you're talking about truck. Am I right, Carl? 4-wheel drive truck? OBS, old body style. In Chevys, that is from 89 and the regular pickups to 98, 99, I think. 10 years, 10 or 12 years run on the Chevys. But I know the Ford guys call that same year of Ford an OBS. It's not as popular of a name for the Fords, but it's definitely a Chevy term, OBS, old body style. The body style that came out, real smooth looking one that came out right after the square bodies. And on the Fords, I think that's the one that came out that has the big square headlights. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a Ford expert by any means. I'm no expert on anything by any means. I just get by. I know what I know. Tell you what, doing this live stuff's interesting. You watch the little counter up there go on me. It's right there above my head in the picture. But watch that go from having like 3 people in the room. All of a sudden there's like 15. And that's when I say, hi, introduce yourself. And then it goes back to 4. Yep, had the big grill. Yep. Old body, I would say, with big grill on front. 97, I believe that is what they consider an old body style because it's ran along side by side with the Chevy years. Chevy and Ford are always within a year of each other. When one changed the body style, either that same year or the next year, the other one changed. And I never know who did what, but so that would be the same era. but it had that bigger grill and them bigger square headlights that were probably the first halogen lights, $4 grand, so you could plug the headlight in the back. All right. Oh, so I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna do a little shaky and see what else I need to do to get that. I'm gonna clean you up there, get that muffler off, that exhaust out of the way. I think there's one more hanger over here. Yep, I need that one. That's a 10. That's the, well, it was a 3/8, I thought. And 9/16. No, 9/16. 9/16. Smaller. Why is that smaller? Half inch. Don't step in the wet spot. Oh, of course not. What are you thinking? I'm not thinking. Look in that drawer and see. I don't think that was a half. Sure it is. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. It should be far enough. Oh, that guy. Tell you guys, everybody claims that POR 15, that POR 15 paint, that rust encapsulator inhibitor stuff is so great. And it is, for what it is. You know, it encapsulates. And Carl says, I said grill, and I meant big push bumper. Goes up to the top of the hood. I don't know if that was stock, but I've seen them with them. Pretty cool. But that POR 15, I painted the whole front, the whole frame with it, really. If any of it gets damaged to the point where, like, it cracks, it peels in sheets when it comes off. Craziness. I'll throw this in the garbage over here. So yeah, that's one step closer. I think I have enough room. I want to get grease all over my camera handle here. Let me I'll take you guys and show you. So what I'm doing is trying to get enough room so that when I slide the tranny back, I can drop it, the bell housing, bolts, and everything through here. This is all loose enough. This is still firm. I can always unbolt that, but you know as well as I do, these go up to the manifold on the headers, and those 3 bolts tend to snap or whatever issue. So that's why I did V-band clamps here, simple on and off. Seals good. And over here, same deal, loose. It can go back a few more inches, just like the other side. And I'm going to take the shield off, and you can see all that grease underneath there. That's that rear main, man. It's got to be. It's really tossing the garbage everywhere. The other thing about doing live on your phone like this, I can't tell if I got what I got for battery life left. I know running this camera this long sucks the living life out of your battery. So if for some reason it just goes boop, it means my battery's dead and the live is over. And I appreciate each and every one of you coming to check it out, commenting down below, and go check out my videos. Comment, let me know what you think of my other videos. I'm still learning, you know, I'm growing and learning. These lives are something I'm going to try to do a little bit more of. So people can get to know me by asking questions, and get to know the projects I got in here by asking questions, and let me know if there's, check out the videos. I'm learning with every video. I try to do better the next one, and comment on the videos if I did a good job or not. Tell me what you like or don't like. It'll help me grow so that the next video is maybe something more what you like and want to see. So I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you think this is something you'd be interested in, or if you want to wait till you watch a couple of videos and then decide if you want to see more, subscribe, help me out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And we started this day with 967 subscribers and 1,500 watch hours. Watch hours are hard to get. So we're working on it. We are working on it. Get some of this grease off of here so I'm not completely filthy every time I turn around. Okay, so we're going to need, you know what, I wonder if I should, probably make me a lot happier in the long run. I should just drain the tranny and be done with it. Need those 2 bolts out for the shift linkage. Those I think almost. Come on. Put those right back in the pan. I know what goes where. The little standoffs. The nice thing about this pan, the guys at Bowtie Overdrive, put a nice drain plug in it. I'm not jostling that thing around and having tranny fluid fly out the back. But my drain bucket was getting pretty full. I tell you what. I think I'll put it right in that pan. That should be good enough. 10. Oh yeah. 7/16. Yep. Well, that's a plus. That'll be the first fluid change on that tranny. I don't know. I can't remember. I think I got 14,000 miles on this. I drove the crap out of it the first couple of years. And like I said, it sat the last 4. And I built my LS swapped S10 that I drove for a couple of years after I built this. And that put her back on the back burner a little bit. So I probably drove her a good 3-4 years. 14,000 miles ain't bad considering I was only driving it on weekends. But that'll be the first oil change, and that fluid looks fantastic. So don't really need to do it, but why not? Why not? It won't mess me up when I go to move it. Make me all covered in tranny fluid. So let me grab. I'm probably completely wrong on this. Because them are big, way bigger. Must be halves. Yeah, we can pull the drive shaft out. Make sure any goo and left in the tranny that comes out the tail shaft can go right in that pan. Oh, I like that. What I need to do, I really need to do, find some tape so I can tape up these caps. Last thing I want to do is have to put freaking new U-joints in here, new caps. What's everybody been up to today? Who's left in the chat? Who's new in the chat? If you're new, I can't see over there right now. I'm working on slowly getting bit by bit this transmission out of this clearly super cool hot rod. Just pulling the drive shaft right now. I'm gonna, as I find some tape for them caps. But if you're in here and you're new, comment down below. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. What are you into? No freaky stuff. It's not that kind of channel. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that kind of. No. Let me. What do I got for good tape? Tape those caps so we don't. I'm gonna use that. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. There's the cheap good stuff. At least that stuff's not as expensive. A little electrical tape. Probably Harbor Freight brand. That'll work. So if I do this right, these caps will stay inside that little clip for a second while I pull the U-bolts out. And then I can run some tape on it before I go and gentle, gentle, as he whacks it. Oh, you wacky. Yeah, at least one of them is going to come out. Well, now that you said it, it ain't going to happen. Oh no. One out. One. I'm not going to be able to get the tape on them. I already have them loose. Oh. Rest there nicely, would you? I need some tape on you. Play nice. There we go. Very, very nice. Now what? Very, very nice. I'll put this over here. Friend of mine, nice enough guy. He I had the weird vibration and couldn't figure out what was going on. He owns a drive shaft shop, him and his dad, and he built me a brand new drive shaft, which did help. So I was using the one that came in the truck originally, and it was an old repurposed one, and he built me a really nice drive shaft. Nice to know people. Only charged me $50 for a whole drive shaft, new yokes, and U-joints. Couldn't believe it. $50. Sweet. So I'm not going to complain, but I am going to make an observation. We didn't paint it. Usually those guys on the spin balance will go ahead and run a bunch of paint on it. That thing's rusty as you can get. So I'll have to clean it up real good once we get it back in and get her dialed in. Carl says, I'm from Stigler, Oklahoma. Stigler. I drove truck for many years. That sounds familiar. I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly where it was, because it's not coming to me, but what part of Oklahoma is that in? Off of what major interstate? Stigler. Holy cow, I've been live for an hour and 41 minutes. Not too bad. I don't know why Stigler rings a bell. I don't know. Maybe I delivered there before. About a year and a half, I drove reefer truck, refrigerated food, and a lot of warehouses right off the main interstate. I never went into many towns, hardly at all. And then for almost 11 years after that, I hauled steel. But I did that mainly in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. Back and forth, hauling steel out of the mills over to automotive manufacturing in Iowa. They do a lot of manufacturing of like engine cradles and the inner door shells of a lot of cars. They did for Chrysler, and they did the cross members and stuff like that. Who would have thought Iowa? I thought that stuff was in Michigan, but I hauled plenty of steel out of Michigan going to Iowa to make cars with. Then I'd haul a bunch of aluminum out of Iowa going to Illinois, get put on a train to go to Boeing manufacturing, and they used them to make the ribs in 747s. It was kind of cool hauling these huge plates that were about that thick and 18 feet long and 6 feet wide. Haul about 12 of those over. It's pretty neat. East side of Oklahoma, just south of the 40. Okay. Been through there many times on 40. But can't place my finger on it, but that's cool. That is cool. Who else we got in here? Somebody else lurking in here, not talking. I see you. I see you. Introduce yourself. Say hi. Let us know where you're from, what you're up to on this fine Saturday afternoon. We're just working on cool old hot rods. That's all I'm doing. Searching for the mysterious vibration and leak, oil leak. Two things that finally kind of showed who they are. Lost a couple. I guess I'm not supposed to talk to anybody. The minute I talk to people that pop their heads in, they all run away. YouTube Live. Oh. It's interesting. Are you done draining yet? Good enough. I'm going to put the plug back in. That is good enough to put the plug back in. Shouldn't bother me out the tail shaft so much no more. There. That little guy don't need much. At the NPT tapered thread. Pipe thread or whatever. Tapered pipe. Okay. What's the plan? What's the plan now? Well, I know supporting the back of the tranny is part of the plan. When I take that cross member out, All the diesel boys running by me. What they're up to today. Driving through the parking lot, just dieseling. That should be enough. Oh, get that. Get that. Hopefully I didn't put the lift too close to the bolt. Like that hat? You're gonna like that hat. Looks a little goofy, but it sure works good from keeping your noggin. She got a bumper. So when you're under here, you know I'm bumping. Oh, she loosened up a little over time. It wasn't very tight at all. At least it was still tight, but not much at all. What's the other one like? Not super tight, but that was tighter. Tighter. Kind of like tater. Hose. Lines. Fish it out, fish it out. And the other. Oh. I'm just over here, out of sight, out of mind, I guess. Must have keeping my nuts together. Where'd I say that? That's one's missing. Why is the one missing? Where'd it go? Should have been right with that. What did I do with it? Huh. That's stuck down in there, and well, isn't that something? Pulled one out with a nut, pulled the other out with a nut, and that's missing. How's that happen? I swear, nuts are like socks. Two go in the washer, one comes out. Socks, that is, not nuts. And then you take stuff apart and you set it down, go take another one apart, set it down, and one of them's missing. What did I do? I didn't set it anywhere, did I? I set this one somewhere? No. And drop it? No. Well, how in blue blazes is that missing? I'll be looking for that later. This That's not even the one that I used to take it off. I don't know. What do I know? Nothing. I know nothing. So, anyways, one step closer to that being out. Those are like 5/8. So let's see if I got a 5/8. Well, why didn't you tell me I dropped it? Is that it? How'd I drop that? Must have fallen out of the socket. I just kicked it with my foot on the ground. It's like a sock. It was trying to escape. Five eighths. 5/8? 5/8. Okay. One step closer. Two steps closer. Don't sing. Clippy things. Clipping a few things. Making room for a few things. I can lift that up then. And I can lift that up and over. How's it going today, guys? Thanks for stopping. Oh, see, look, happened again. I said hi, and instead of saying hi back, they all ran. They all ran away. YouTube. Huh? Not a bad, nice aftermarket cross member, huh? Not too bad. No, not too bad. I'm going to wipe it down, though. Whatever is causing that leak under there sure is making one hell of a mess. I mean, I expect this stuff to be a little grimy, but look at this. It's just coated in grease and oil. It's definitely a significant leak. All right, guys, hang on one second. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick because that was grimy. Garbage first. Washy, washy, washy. I'm coming back. If you're just poking in, wondering what the heck is going on, I got covered in grease, and I'm just washing real quick. I'll make a complete and total mess. You know, I should wear gloves. Never got used to wearing them things, so it doesn't feel proper. It never felt right. Got a whole bag of them, box of them right there. And like up on my shelf, I got like 4 more boxes. That's how often I wear them. Kept getting them free when you'd go to Harbor Freight. That's how long ago I got them. They don't even give nothing free away anymore. I was never able to get used to what it feels like. And then when you get dirty, you don't feel dirty. You go to wipe it off and it's just weird. Weird. So lug nuts. That was flickering, ready to die. Plug that in tonight. And judging by that amount of time, I'm thinking battery on the old phone's about ready to go. All I got left to do, let's take a walk here real quick. Change hats. These do get warm. Let that air out. That little hanger there. Little hanger. This dies on me in the next few minutes. Apologize. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll say it again. That stopped by and hung out and commented. I'm just getting started. We're doing pulling a tranny on the old 64 C10 back there. What am I standing under? Oh, that's a 66 Chevy Nova Wagon. If you're new here, I don't know who's here that's been here before or who hasn't been here. A few things we play around with here. A little 49 Chevy, a little 56 Nomad, Chevy Nomad. Oh, we got a box truck down there too. But the old Chevy 2's got some fatties under it. Fat! And then subframes all been boxed in and oh, wrong way. Subframe's been all boxed in. The 1996 H-pipe, horribly done. I didn't do it. Nice drive shaft though. Made by Belair. It's got all this work done. I think I can put ladder bars in here. I might do that eventually. Floors in this thing are amazing. From here, which is where your feet would go in the back seat, from here back is all brand new sheet metal and floor to accommodate for that and for the mini tubs. So they redid that all in sheet metal. They did a nice job, and it's been done since the 90s. Whoever did it, well, I know who did it. I just don't know the name. They're out of Canada. There's a sticker inside that says it. And I looked them up, and they're still in business. And this is the kind of stuff they do. So look at these monsters. Monster headers. Monsters. Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that. That was my way of fixing a problem that was already here when I got the car. That's where the filter would go. How the hell do you put a filter there? You don't. So you do a remote filter. Well, the remote filter's in here, but they had rubber lines. And the rubber line was wrapped around here thinking that header tape was going to be enough. I hated it. So I redid the lines and there was nothing I could do. I tried 90s and 45s and you name it. I tried every single stinking thing you can think of to come out of there and go forward. And nothing worked. It was either hitting too hard or it sat too low. Just a bunch of nightmares with that. So This is metal. It's not going to melt on the header. It's the part that comes out of the motor. So if it does get hot here, the oil, it has a chance to go all the way through those lines, all the way through 2 filters in the remote filter system, all the way back through this line, and then up and in. So I'm not worried about it creating heat in the motor. I was more worried about it melting the frickin' line and then shooting oil everywhere. So, but somebody at one time, you know, look at all the chrome goodies on the suspension. They spent time and money on all that. I'll do a little chrome polish on there, and just another fun vehicle that we got in here that I've been on the channel. We've got several videos of it. 66 Chevy Nova Wagon. You can't tell I like wagons. Wagons and trucks. That's my 2 things. So yeah. But I think what we're going to do, if you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, I appreciate you being here. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if this is content you like. We'll be doing more lives. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I'm probably going to be over here in the afternoon tomorrow. Maybe early. We'll see. And I'm going to finish getting that out. I know this battery's going to die, and I don't want to do it off camera, unless, of course, I do it as content for an actual video. But I thought, you know what? It's not that big of a deal pulling a tranny. Being able to chit-chat with you guys through commenting and all that while I pull it out. Maybe it'll help a few people get to know me. Maybe it'll help a few people be interested in the channel. And comment down below what you think. You know, help me grow. Help grow with me, you know. Ground floor. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be huge. I'm going to be bigger than Vice Grip Garage. No, that's like winning the lottery. But ground floor, never know. Might go that way. That'd be something, wouldn't it? People do win the lottery. Not people like me. It's taken me 3 years just to get to not even 1,000 subscribers yet. I'm working on it though, you know. It takes time. And so tomorrow I think I'm going to do another live, which will be part 2 of this. And we'll just, she's ready to, I think right now all I got left to do is the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 bolts. Oh, I got to take the shield off and 3 bolts on the torque converter. And then 6 or 8 bolts around the bell housing. And she'd be out. So I appreciate you guys coming by. Like and subscribe, comment, share, do all that fun stuff. You can help a brother out, fellow hot rodder. I'm trying to build a community on this channel, not always based on lives, but trying to build a community on this channel to like-minded hot rodders hang out. You know, I got this stuff to work on, but I still like sitting on YouTube and watching other people work on stuff that I normally wouldn't work on. I got a guy that I watched that, I mean, he builds mini trucks and box trucks. Like, who the hell cares about box trucks? They're the coolest things ever. I've never owned one, but they're the coolest things ever. I love watching him work on that stuff. So you know, I spend a couple hours a month watching YouTube and watching other people build stuff. So I'm hoping like-minded guys come here because I'm working on something they don't have, but they're interested in. So help me grow it into a good channel by commenting, being, you know, creative criticism, constructive criticism. Yeah, constructive criticism. Help me grow the channel into something you guys can be proud of and willing to watch, and that I can be proud of and being part of. So thanks for stopping by, guys. And I will finish this up tomorrow. Stop by. Keep an eye out for me. We're going to do it live tomorrow. Finish pulling that tranny. So thanks you. Have a great night. Stay out of trouble. Get out in the garage. Build something, fix something, but keep wrenching. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.